In Tableau Prep, in order to open up a new data set, we're going to go first open up Tableau Prep and you're presented with this screen. And the first thing that you'll do is you'll go to this Connect to Data button. And so we'll go connect to that. And now there's a bunch of different types of data that you can connect to. What we're going to be looking for most commonly is this text file. Although obviously if you have an Excel file, that's going to work. But often you're going to have a comma separated values file, and you're going to open that using this text file option. So we'll click on that. The next thing that it does is it presents us with a file navigator, and so we just need to navigate to the location. In this particular case, I've got it in this GitHub 141 data raw, and then we're going to use this gradebook simple. And notice this .csv. This means a comma separated values file. So that's how we're going to open this. And we click the open button. All right, so once it reads it in, you're presented with this information over here. And what happens is each one of these rows represents a column in your data set. So for example, this first thing right here represents the first column, which is the field name. And this is what this original field name in my CSV file. And notice they're the same here. There are cases where they're going to be different, but predominantly in this case, they're the same. And then the sample value shows the first couple of rows of that column. So in this case, it's Alice, Bob, and Charlie. Each subsequent one of these represents another column. So I'm going to have a column for student name, exam 1, exam 2, and final exam. Now notice that the exams have this little hashtag, which stands for a number. So these are numerical values, whereas the student name, this ABC, represents that it's a character string. So you can see that it highlights it as a string, whereas down here it represents it as a whole number. Now, the very first row of your data actually represented the column headers for your data, and what controls that is this option over here. And this little bullet right here says that the first line contains the column headers, and that's fairly common. The other thing that you might need to mess with is this field separator. Now remember, in our comma separated values file, the columns are separated by commas, but they don't have to be. The comma really could be anything. Other common values are tabs, semicolons, spaces. Notice if we had done it with a space, then my column names couldn't have spaces in the column name. So commas or semicolons and tabs are all really common. But for ours, because it was a CSV, which stands for comma separated values, comma is the correct choice. So after we've done that, we now have this data set that is imported into Tableau Prep. Fabulous.